Injustice has a lot of freaking deaths. Now, some people hated some love some. I'm gonna name the top 5 fucked up deaths, the ones that actually resonated with me, and that's a weird word to use when you're talking about death, but that's what we're gonna do. If you don't know what Injustice is, what the hell is wrong with you? It's not just a fighting game, which, to be honest, is pretty solid, and the second one especially is pretty damn good, but this is a series that came out kind of like a prequel to the Injustice 1 game. They go by year 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, leading up to Injustice 1, and now they also have Injustice 2, the comic, which is also a prequel to the game in some ways, and we're going to cover all of the Injustice years, 1 to 5, plus the first volume, which is the first 6 issues of Injustice 2, in terms of death. So if you don't want spoilers or anything, I urge you to stop reading right now because we're going to get into big ass spoilers. So let's go. Coming in at number 5 is Guy Gardner. What is probably most upsetting is this occurs pretty much right after John gets murdered, or at least very soon after. Guy and the corpse are trying to fight against Superman, and they're just not winning. And when Hal is on Superman's side, and John is kind of in between while he's working with Superman, he's kind of torn. Sinestro uses that moment to kill him. At this point that Hal is with Superman, he is tricked by Sinestro, telling him Guy has murdered John by accident, because it is believable, because at this point John is working with Superman and not with Batman. Sinestro is the murderer though here, and after John is killed, that makes Hal go completely nuts and go after Guy, where Guy is telling him, please calm down, relax, you're one of the best of us, stop doing this. Hal rips off Guy's arm, and that leads him to fall to his death. It's not only a fucked up death, but it just hits because you're just seeing Hal, one of the best Green Lanterns, go to the dark side almost in a way, and it's just downright sad to watch Guy die in such a horrible way. Coming at number 4 is Blue Beetle. Now before you go, what the fuck, Whitey, I played Injustice 2, he's in the game. That is Jamie. Ted Kord, the original Blue Beetle, tells his final tragic tale in the first few issues of Injustice 2 comic. In it, Booster Gold, his longtime friend, comes in and tells him, hey, it's the end, because Booster Gold can go through different time periods. In the last few hours, he fights against the regime. It's an organization run by Ra's al Ghul, and his mission to conquer the world, it's kind of similar to what Superman was doing in Injustice 1, but he just wants to kill everyone and restart, basically. In the last few moments, Ted is sitting all alone while dying, while Booster Gold comes in and grabs his friend's arm and wishes him farewell. It's this kind of like bittersweet, it's definitely like the most somber death in a way. It's just really sad, but just watching one of the greatest heroes, or at least B-list heroes, just go out like that is tragic, and it just really hit me hard. Coming in at number 3 is probably the most well-known one, Lois Lane and the baby. What sets up everything is easily one of the most screwed up deaths in the entire series. So if you didn't play Injustice 1, Superman rushes to find the Joker, and the Joker uses the toxins on Superman to make believe that Lois Lane is Doomsday. So the hero does what he always does, grabs Doomsday, what he thinks is Doomsday, and brings them up to space. And, well, it's not Doomsday, it's Lois Lane. And Lois Lane can't breathe in space because she's a human, so she dies with their unborn child in her stomach. When it's all revealed and Superman is just standing there looking at it, it's just terrible. It's one of those reactions where you're just like, the greatest human in a way. Superman's an alien, but still he is more human than most people on Earth. You see him just broken in that second, and it's just one of the most fucked up scenes in the world, and you just feel so bad that even the creator, Tom Taylor, who created this, had to follow it because of the game, felt horrible about the scene and tried to actually change it in Earth 2 storyline. But either way, this is just downright sad, and it makes me sad. So yeah, this scene fucked up in every way. Coming in at number 2 is Kyle Renner, one of the major Green Lantern characters. Actually, he took over for Green Lantern for a long time when Hal was out. After Earth is slowly being taken over by the Superman's reign here, Kyle notices, and then he heads to Earth, and when he finds out, he's gonna go warn the corpse. Sounds pretty good, right? But then he's blindsided by Sinestro and his goons, and instead of the regular lip-talking and holding hostage situation that we get in the regular universe, Kyle tells Sinestro he'll never get away with it, which we expect. Kyle's kind of like a goody two-shoes, but we like him for that reason. In reaction, Sinestro's like, no, man, and he just slowly takes off Kyle's ring while they're in space. So the dude starts suffocating to death, which is just downright fucking disturbing, watching a man suffocate in the middle of space. But then if that's not bad enough, Sinestro just tells his goons to pull Kyle's arms and legs apart. So in the background, you see his limbs getting torn to pieces, and it's just disturbing. It is really probably the most disturbing death, or at least one of the most disturbing, and just painful to watch when a good character, a good person, is just killed so mercilessly. Alright, number 1 is Green Arrow. This is easily the death that hit me the hardest. The bright light on Batman's side, Green Arrow, is trying to do everything he can do to stop these terrible acts from his friend. When Superman hides his parents at the Fortress of Solitude, Green Arrow goes there to get some of the super pills to fight against Superman. In doing so, Superman arrives and he finds that the presence of Green Arrow near his parents is a threat. Okay, that's fair enough, but Ollie is like, oh hell no, and shoots an arrow at Superman, which it easily deflects off of Superman. Come on. However, the arrow finds its way right into Jonathan's shoulder. That is Superman's dad, if you don't know. This enrages Superman, and the Man of Steel begins to just punch the living shit out of Oliver. What's even more horrible about the scene is it's in first person from Oliver's point of view, so you see the last moments of Green Arrow's life kind of just slip away, and watching his good friend just go into this savagery mode and just murder him, it's just disturbing. And you think that Superman kind of feels like a victory, but at what cost? Killing one of his best friends? It's just disturbing. So this, in my opinion, killing one of the central characters of all of DC, but also watching a good person get brutally murdered by his used-to-be friend, and this is the big turn for Superman. It's all just resonates really well in terms of storytelling, and kind of makes the sum of the first half of the first year really build up. So this just disturbing scene is worth mentioning because it really hits home to a lot of DC fans. But that is my top 5 deaths in the Injustice series so far. I would love to see your top 5. There's so many deaths in this. Some hit others more than others. A lot of people tell me about the Teen Titans deaths and so on. So I would love to see yours, maybe some in the video game even. And that's really it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys really will check out this comic series. It is one of my favorite, especially Injustice 2 just started, and it's really good so far. And then of course the video games are good, especially Injustice 2. I tell you to pick that up right now. I give it a 9 out of 10, definitely worth playing. But I'll shut up now. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hit a like, hit the share button if you want to share it with your friends. That always means a lot to me. And everybody else, have a good day. Check out my other videos up here. And yeah, okay, I don't have anything else to say. DC forever.